First, there's the Sunday quiet in Kentwood, Louisiana, a small town where you learn early to keep quiet and make do with what you have. In the little church, a blonde girl stands straight, hands clasped. Her voice rises above the others. They call her Britney. At home, the air is heavy. Her father, Jamie, carries the fatigue of job sites and wounds he never learned to heal. As a teenager, he watched his own mother take her life after a miscarriage. His father was stern and cold, raising him with shouts and shoulder checks. Alcohol eventually settled in like a member of the family. Beside him, Lynn, gentle but worn down, keeps hoping that one day her daughter's success will open a way out. Britney is 3 when she's enrolled in dance. She repeats every step with adult precision. At that age, some kids play with dolls. She practices in front of the mirror. Pageants follow one after another. Costumes glitter. Little trophies line a wobbly shelf. Money is still tight. Jamie takes on construction jobs, tries to open a gym, comes home at night with a rabbit or a bird for dinner. But in all that chaos, Britney's voice becomes their only horizon. One day, Lynn discovers New York with her daughter. It's another world. In the studios, under the lights, at auditions, everything seems possible. Agent Nancy Carson spots the little girl right away. Hardworking, disciplined, different. Britney learns the stage the way you learn to breathe. She tries out for the Mickey Mouse Club. Turned down at first, she persists. In 1992, she sings Love Can Build a Bridge on Star Search and finishes second. Her child's voice astonishes. A year later, Disney reopens its doors. This time she's in. On the Mickey Mouse Club, she crosses paths with 2 other kids destined for fame, Justin Timberlake and Christina Aguilera. Together, they grow up under the spotlight. When the show ends, Britney returns to Kentwood. No more studios, back to school desks. But normal life no longer fits. She's tasted something she can't forget. Lynn refuses to give up. With help from a family friend, Larry Rudolph, she prepares a new attempt, turning Britney into a solo artist. An audition at Jive Records, a flight to Sweden, and a meeting with Max Martin, the man who crafts pop's most addictive hooks. Together, they record a song that will change her life, Baby One More Time.
Baby, how was I supposed to know?
When the video drops in the fall of 1998, it's a tidal wave. The schoolgirl outfit, the choreography, the beat, everything becomes iconic. In teenagers' bedrooms, in magazines, in malls, everyone is talking about her. The album comes out the following year and smashes records. Britney has become the perfect product. Young, beautiful, compliant, bankable. But behind the smile, the armor is heavy. She's asked to promise publicly that she'll remain a virgin until marriage. She does it, not knowing that line will become a trap. From then on, every microphone becomes a courtroom. People stop asking about music and focus on her body, her choices, her morality. Then the image shifts, sexier, more provocative. At the MTV Video Music Awards, she tears off her suit to reveal a flesh-colored bodysuit. The applause barely drowns out the whispers. She becomes both an object of desire and a target for judgment. Then comes Love, Justin Timberlake. Together, they embody the ideal romance. The media adore them, photographers stalk them. But when they split, the story turns into a PR war. Justin releases Cry Me a River, implying she betrayed him.
You didn't know all the ways I loved you.
Britney becomes the perfect culprit. Facing Diane Sawyer, she cries, humiliated, forced to explain herself. She's only 20, and already the world is asking her to carry shame. Still, she keeps going. The albums Britney and In the Zone confirm her talent. Toxic becomes an anthem, but around her everything frays. In 2004, she marries childhood friend Jason Alexander in Las Vegas. The marriage lasts 55 hours. Then comes Kevin Federline, dancer, whirlwind romance, wedding, reality show, chaotic. She seems happy, but the public turns away. People see only a young woman who's lost, exposed, judged. In 2005 and 2006, she becomes the mother of two boys, Sean Preston and Jaden James. She dreamed of that family, but the paparazzi never let up. One day, photographed driving with her baby on her lap, she becomes the target of a storm of criticism. At that point, Kevin pulls away, arguments multiply. Britney goes out at night, often with Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan. The media call it a downward spiral. In January 2007, a private tragedy hits: the death of her Aunt Sandra, who raised her like a second mother. After the funeral, Britney snaps. She goes to a hair salon and asks to have her head shaved. The stylist refuses. Britney grabs the clippers and runs the blade herself. "I don't want to be touched anymore," she says. It's a scream, a refusal to be handled one more time. The images circle the globe. The media feast. A few days later, surrounded by photographers, she hits a paparazzo's car with a green umbrella. The photo becomes a symbol of a woman broken in front of our eyes. That's where the first act of her story ends: the rise, the glow, and the spectacular fall. That night, under the Los Angeles rain, reflected in a bent umbrella, Britney Spears was no longer a star. She was just a tired girl who wanted to breathe. When the hospital doors close in January 2008, the scene changes. The public noise fades and another machine starts up. A judge formally places Britney under the conservatorship of her father, Jamie Spears, with attorney Andrew Wallet. On paper, it's to protect her. In practice, everything flips. She no longer controls her money, her health, her movements, her daily life. Even a coffee, a haircut, the right to drive must be authorized. What was supposed to be a temporary measure becomes a lock. Around Jamie, a structure forms and expands: accountants, managers, lawyers. In meetings, they talk contracts, calendars, profitability. They promise a comeback, not freedom. And Britney does what she's always done to survive. She works. In the studio, she finds a kind of breath again. In 2008, she returns with Circus. Womanizer explodes. The numbers reassure the industry. The TV sets open up. The spotlights return. On screen, you see a smiling star. Backstage, every decision goes through an office that doesn't bear her name. They say she's fragile, so they tighten control. They say she's vulnerable, so they surveil her. The keepers of the system know the public needs to believe in the comeback narrative. Interviews are orchestrated, awards handed out, the idea of a rebirth sold. But in her car, in her dressing room, in her living room, Britney no longer owns her own time. She obeys. She performs. She stays silent. At the end of 2008, a documentary is released. For the record, on camera, Britney speaks simply, without verbal makeup. One line falls cold and clear. Even in jail, you know when you're getting out. I don't. The sentence doesn't just pass through the screen. It cracks the official story. That day, the people managing her learn a lesson. From now on, everything will be filtered. No more live, no more surprises, no more truth spilling over. The machine tightens the screws. Interviews become choreographies of words. Lists of approved questions are sent ahead. Anything uncontrollable is canceled, edits are made. When a host asks for live, the answer is no. Everything must be taped, reviewed, approved. It's the price to let the star exist, that she doesn't really exist. And yet the music holds. In 2011, Femme Fatale hits hard. Hold It Against Me climbs. The videos stack up the tours too.
Now, would you hold it against me?
The public buys tickets, the press runs with the big comeback. But that success has a strange taste. Rehearsals are clocked, medications are too. Her partners, her dancers, her doctors, all chosen. Chosen for her. She performs. That's what's left. Do well what's expected. She's given a judge's chair on television. Record paychecks, high ratings, viral clips. Everything looks green, except what matters, her own will. On the paperwork, signatures. In her voice, little room. The system hasn't changed, it's professionalized. They turned her fragility into a business plan. Then comes Las Vegas. Piece of me fills rooms, racks up sold-out nights, spreads her face across massive billboards.
You want a piece of me? Oh my God, that Britney shameless.
The shows run, the numbers pile up. The public thinks it's witnessing triumph, a return to control. But at night, when the music cuts, Britney gets into a car she didn't choose, heading to a room she didn't pick. She works, but doesn't own the work. Her name earns. She doesn't earn her life, others earn it off her. From time to time, a rebellious gesture tries to slip through. A post that sounds different, an absence that can't be explained, a decision that surprises. The door is shut, the message corrected, the PR put out. Everything must stay smooth on the surface, whatever it costs underneath. And the cost is invisible. The silence of a woman who no longer has the right to say what she wants, or even to want something else. In this world calibrated like a contract, Britney is reduced to an equation. If she produces, everything is fine. If she slows down, she must be unwell. So they push her to produce. When fatigue shows on her face, it's normal pressure. When sadness leaks through, the answer is a protocol. The system doesn't protect, it prolongs. One night, late, she thinks of that line she dropped on camera. Even in jail, you know when you're getting out. She knows everyone heard it and nothing changed. She knows that tomorrow she'll have to rehearse, smile, answer, accept. She knows the safest cage is the one you no longer see. That's where the second act ends. Not on a scandal, not on a viral image, but on a suffocating truth. The world believes it's seeing a rebirth. In reality, it's watching a program. And at the center of the program is a woman whose voice has been locked in a drawer. Around 2018, something cracks in the well-oiled machine. Britney looks tired. Rehearsals feel heavy, smiles are rarer. Yet a new Las Vegas residency is announced, Domination. The project is colossal. Giant posters, light projections, press conferences. On launch night, everyone waits. Fans chant her name, cameras roll, spotlights flare. Britney steps on stage, smiles, then turns on her heel without a word. She walks through the crowd and disappears. Weeks later, the residency is canceled. The official version cites her father Jamie's illness. Off the record, few believe it. Then a message appears on her Instagram. We all need a little me time. Simple, banal. But fans notice something's off. The tone, the emojis, the punctuation. Nothing sounds like Britney. A podcast called Britney's Gram then receives an anonymous voicemail. The caller says he's a lawyer close to the case. He claims Britney is being forcibly held in a psychiatric facility. Within hours, the message spreads online. Within days, it becomes a global movement. #FreeBritney. Hundreds of fans take to the streets. Signs rise, Free Britney now. The media picks it up, lawyers move, former employees speak. They all say the same thing. Britney has no control over her life. Social media becomes a parallel court, and for the first time, the world starts to listen. Jamie Spears denies everything. No one knows the facts, he says. This is a private matter. But doubt doesn't fade. In 2021, a New York Times documentary, Framing Britney Spears, exposes the conservatorship's underbelly. The testimony is damning. Manipulated finances, forced medical decisions, siphon profits. It's no longer a family issue, it's a public scandal. For the first time in more than a decade, a judge allows Britney to choose her own lawyer. In June 2021, she speaks in court. Her voice shakes, but her words are sharp. I feel bullied, exploited, exhausted. I cry every day. I want my life back. That day, the silence imposed for 13 years finally breaks.
I was on tour in 2018. I was forced to do. My management said if I don't do this tour, I will have to find an attorney, and by contract, my own management could sue me if I didn't follow through with the tour.
The world listens, hanging on a voice it thought was lost. Revelations pour out. Forced medications, an imposed IUD, bans on marrying or having another child, monitored communications, an entire life under permission. The conservatorship, sold as support, appears for what it is, confinement. The legal battle stretches on for months. Each hearing peels back another layer of abuse. Fans camp outside the courthouse, holding signs, hearts, tears. On November 12th, 2021, Judge Brenda Penny says the words the world was waiting for. The conservatorship of Britney Jean Spears is terminated. Outside the Los Angeles courthouse, the crowd erupts, shouts, tears, songs. 13 years of silence end. Britney stands still. She receives her freedom in an almost sacred quiet. After so many years of control, freedom doesn't taste like a party. It tastes like vertigo. At first, she tries to believe. On Instagram, she posts dance videos, smiles, thank yous. She talks about rebirth, light, love. Beside her, Sam Asghari, whom she met years earlier on the set of the Slumber Party video, becomes a refuge. In 2022, they marry in an intimate ceremony in Thousand Oaks. Around them, a small circle of guests: Madonna, Selena Gomez, Drew Barrymore, Donatella Versace. The photos go around the world. But fairy tales don't like to last. In 2023, Sam files for divorce. The tabloids go hunting again: rumors, accusations, mockery. Britney stays quiet. When she finally speaks, she says the marriage was just a detour, an attempt to mend herself. Slowly, the posts change tone. Solitary dance clips, cryptic lines, rambling captions, emojis strung together without logic. Some fans see a cry for help, others see simple eccentricity. But everyone feels the same thing: something remains broken. The media start commenting, diagnosing, judging again. Some talk about relapse, instability. Few understand that after 13 years under a conservatorship, freedom isn't a gift, it's a lesson. After living in a cage, even open air can choke you. With her family, peace never really returns. Her relationship with her mother, Lynn, swings between forgiveness and anger. She writes, sometimes publicly, sometimes from a deep well of pain, "I'll never forget that you did nothing to set me free." With her sister, Jamie Lynn, tensions flare too. The grievances are bitter, sometimes erased, sometimes rewritten, but never truly gone. Her sons, Sean and Jaden, now live far away in Hawaii with their father, Kevin Federline. Distance becomes a void. Britney writes, "I love them more than anything, but I can't force them to love me back." It's a bare sentence, no makeup, no melody. A mother's line more than a star's. Meanwhile, the Free Britney movement continues, transformed into watchfulness. Some fans monitor her socials, others her contracts. Some spin wild theories, convinced she still isn't free. Every reflection, every shadow becomes a possible clue. Britney doesn't answer anymore. The paparazzi never disappeared. They wait, crouched behind hedges, hoping for a slip, a sellable shot. But this time, she doesn't run. She doesn't plead. She lets the world talk. It's how she protects herself. In 2024, new rumors circulate: panic attacks, secret hospitalizations, losing her bearings. Britney denies, then falls silent. One day she simply writes, "I finally feel free, even if I'm alone." Maybe that's Britney Spears' truth, a fragile freedom learned through pain. A victory without fireworks, but real. She no longer has to dance to please or smile to survive. She can exist without asking permission. Today, some see her as a survivor, others as a mystery. But she's neither, really. She's just a woman who, after being locked inside her own image, is trying to breathe in the quiet. And when she dances alone in her home, bathed in California light, there are no cameras, no producers, no father dictating the tempo. There's only her reflection, and the soft sound of her steps on the floor. Maybe that's where her greatest victory lives, not belonging to anyone anymore, even if the world keeps watching.